actually crying because I felt completely robbed. 1997, Mr. Olympia. Actually, that was my year.
Another guy that came close to beating us.
He was 285 on stage, and he was like 330 in the off-season.
A lot of people felt, myself included, that this show belonged to the legendary Nasser El Sonbaty.
I think he won an easy. I don't know how Dorian won
At nearly 300 pounds of pure muscle, he wasn't just big, he was a walking process.
Most controversial Mr. Olympia contest in history. 1997 has to be near the top of the list.
Nasser was a very close contest. Some people think he should have won. I don't know, but it was definitely the closest one.
The 1997 Mr. Olympia remains one of the most controversial shows in bodybuilding history. It was the night Dorian Yates secured his sixth and final title, but many felt Nasser El Sonbaty deserved the victory. Dorian Yates, nicknamed the Shadow, was already a legend. His massive size, insane conditioning, granite hard work had dominated the Olympia stage for years. But by 1997, he wasn't the same Yates. Injuries had taken their toll, most notably a torn bicep that affected his symmetry and overall presentation. Sure, he was still freakishly conditioned, but his physique wasn't as complete as it had been in his prime. On that night, Nasser brought the total mass, symmetry, and razor-sharp conditioning. He was arguably better than Yates in several poses, like the front double biceps and side chest. Standing next to Dorian, many people in the crowd thought Nasser was the clear winner. His physique was just cleaner, more balanced, and more impressive overall. But when the dust settled, Dorian was crowned champion. Questions about whether the sport values reputation over performance. Fans still debate whether Nasser should take a win could reshape his career.
What I think in general is that he has won politically the contest already this year, but not physically. And I'm also convinced if he doesn't show up in the best condition ever, he won't be the winner this year, because the crowd is coming closer and closer to him. And some guys are even bigger than he is. Some guys have even the same sharpness that he has. So he's not the ultimate guy, he's actually a kind of couple of years old. So he's beatable, he's not invincible, he's just a human being like I am and the others are. So I think if he's not ready, he can be defeated this year.
Mike calls me up on the landline, and he said, "You are not going to believe who I ran into today." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Who?" He said, "Nasser." So it was like 60, it was a week later, Nasser was up like 60 pounds.
Yeah, but Detroit, obviously like 320.
Yeah, he said he's the biggest human being he ever seen.
I was more than 300 pounds. I was like 330, 340.
Nasser didn't just fill up the room, he owned it, redefining what
when Nasser won the Arnold, Jay was in it, and I was backstage for that. Imagine, look at all these shows I was backstage for. And I remember this game about that show was Nasser won it. I was backstage. Nobody wanted to be hanging with Nasser. Whatever.
I don't know why people didn't like me much, but it didn't bother me.
He was 5'11". So he was 285 on stage, and he was pretty damn hard.
Nasser El Sonbaty never really got on that well with him. No, I never did. I found him to be, what's the word? Say two-faced. The kind of guy that would be smiling in your face and stab you in the back. I'm sorry to talk. Probably the guy that came closest to beating me also. In 1997.
To me, Nasser stands out as one of the most significant figures of the 90s bodybuilding era. He was incredibly influential during that time and is considered one of the pioneers of the original mass monster movement.
I was about 280 pounds. The youngest classic was 285. This was March 97. I was just a couple of pounds too heavy. So this year I will have probably 275 pounds. And I think it doesn't mean that I'm smaller. I think I'm looking bigger, I'm sharper, and I'm straightened more than ever. I think that my back developed more. I have more separation, more quality. Also my arms got bigger, and the same I can say about my thighs, my legs. I think just overall improved.
Nasser Despo's, and I couldn't believe how big he was. Number one, and number two, how big he was that fall off the show. And like it seemed like he was holding a lot of water. I remember the next day I went to the old photo shoot in Venice, and I remember Nasser was there on the bike. He had gone out to Cheesecake Factory with us prior after my victory, and I remember people talking about he had like 3 pieces of cheesecake in 3 weeks from the show. And I remember he did like 2 or 3 hours in one session on the bike that pulled him down. And I remember someone telling me, yeah, he's on the bike for like 10 hours, which amazed me. We're not supposed to be on more than an hour. And so it kind of shocked me. I 3 hours of cardio, and then of course it goes through his third. And
So if you wouldn't eat those, could that make a difference?
it could have. I mean, it could have made a difference, you know, but what's he still got third. It was his breakthrough show. Like, he hadn't placed that well yet. But he was massive, and I look at him now, and I look at today's lineup, and I still look back and think, and I'm not going to sit there and criticize today's era. Like, I can't believe how big he was back then. He was 285 on stage. He wasn't, and he was like 330 in the off season, so like he was 5'11". So he was 285 on stage, and he was pretty damn high. But what set Nasser apart was not just his monstrous physique, it was his aura, a fusion of power and poise that demanded attention. Nasser's ascent to greatness was not linear. He burst onto the professional bodybuilding was ruled by titans like Dorian Yates and Kevin McCrae. While others faded under the shadow of Yates' indomitable reign, Nasser stood his ground. His rivalry with Dorian became the stuff of legend, culminating in the 1997 Mr. Olympia, where many argue he was robbed of the title. The debate rages on, but one fact remains: Nasser was the uncrowned king. His physique was unparalleled. Broad, striated shoulders, packed arms that seemed forged from steel. His chest, a fortress of muscle, flowed into an abdomen etched with granite-like precision. Yet, it was his stage presence, his ability to command an audience with a single pose, that solidified his legacy. Nasser wasn't just a competitor, he was a performer, a maestro, orchestrating a symphony of strength and symmetry. But Nasser was more than muscle. Fluent in multiple languages and a holder of a university degree, he shattered the stereotype. He was a thinker, a philosopher in the world of physical perfection. His interviews revealed a man deeply introspective, unafraid to question the industry's politics and the sacrifices it demanded. Despite his monumental achievements, Nasser's career was marked. He placed second at Mr. Olympia in 1997, a result that haunted him but never defined him. The bodybuilding community often speaks of his what-ifs, but Nasser refused to dwell in the realm of speculation. He continued to push, to inspire, to show the world that greatness isn't confined to a gold medal. Tragically, Nasser's story ended too soon. In 2013, at the age of 47, he passed away, leaving behind a legacy both celebrated and mourned. His death was a stark reminder of the toll the sport can take, but also of the immortal spirit that drives its champions.
Absolutely unforgettable. We lost him, but his legacy lives on. Inspiring everyone to dares to dream big.
He set the standard for what it means to be legendary. A physique like that doesn't fade. It inspires forever.
He may not have worn the Mr. Olympia crown, but in the eyes of countless fans,